I man.
All right, ready?
Dance party.
Happy New Year and welcome back to the Martial Mind Podcast. I'm Ed, joined by Ryan and John, and today we have a very special New Year's episode for you, and we're going to get into it. Stay tuned.
You just said fix your bees.
Is this your first episode with beads?
No, I've had bees. My bees.
my bees.
No, you let them out.
What are you doing?
You didn't open that vibrating shoebox in the kitchen, did you?
It was just so noisy.
God, I wonder what can be in here. Does he have an electric razor on?
Oh, that's not the razor. Oh, God. We're back at it already with the ADD breaks.
Here we go. Here we go. So, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to
New Year.
2024. This is the first episode of 2024 after a brief but what felt like a lifetime of a hiatus.
Yeah.
It's actually a little almost off-putting to be back in front of the camera and behind the microphone.
It feels so wrong, but it feels so right.
Yeah, not in that way. It's just like, okay, we're back here. Like, I'm kind of out of the groove of podcasting.
Oh,
having
yeah.
to keep my brain on
100%.
and come up with words to say.
Yeah, that's a good. That was a good sentence.
Yeah,
So
but-
that's good.
We're off to a great start.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. But I'm very excited. I wanted to talk a bit today about setting goals and New Year's resolutions. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were like, "I don't do resolutions," and I thought in my head, like, why? Why not? I find the new year as a great excuse to set goals for yourself that may otherwise seem unattainable. I feel like it's the one time of year that, like, you can say to somebody, like, hey, I have this crazy thing I want to achieve, and I'm going to dedicate 30 days to it. And nobody looks at you and is like, cool. You know what I mean?
You're gonna do that in October? That's
Yeah,
dumb.
I feel like in September you're like, I'm going to challenge myself for 30 days. We were like, cool, bro. Yeah. And then, but this is the only time of year where everybody's kind of discussing the things that they want to change or do or improve upon throughout the course of the next either month, quarter, year. You know?
Don't get me wrong. It can definitely get hokey where people are like, I'm gonna, and you're like, well, okay, and a lot of people don't, but also you see so much failure because so many people are trying also, so it's a bit of a percentages thing. But I do agree. I think that the new year does bring kind of this different energy, you know, because for me, I like this year I feel much more confident about kind of getting stuff done as opposed to like if I was to try this in like September and I'm just wallowing at the bottom of a Ben and Jerry's pint, like Mad Eye Moody at the end of Goblet of Fire, just like just in the chest, like
oh
Well,
my
at least you don't
god.
have too far to go. It's just a little pint. You'll be all right. You can climb out of there, I'm sure. No,
Yeah.
When it comes to New Year's resolutions, though, like I like the idea very much for all the same reasons you guys said. Like it's an excuse to improve yourself and to set a goal and to chase it, and everybody's very supportive and encouraging of it typically. But for me, it's like when I set out to do something, I don't like to make it a thing, like to make it too known, because then I get psyched out about it. And I'm just
Good thing
like,
you're telling the internet about it.
well,
you know?
but here we are.
Anyway.
So I'll just like, so this is what I'm doing, and then just kind of like leave it on the table, but like not get fixated on it, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause I tend to fixate on something, I'll just like, I got to do that thing today, and I just curse. There we go. We can just bleep it, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll just bleep it. So
We're trying to help the YouTube algorithm, people, and not swear so much. We're also from New York.
Did
so
we
it
curse
doesn't-
yet?
I just
John just did.
I just dropped an F-bomb. You can
It's
blame
okay.
me.
We'll bleep the first one. It's fine.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, but point being is that like it's good to set goals this early in the year, and it's cool that New Year's resolutions exist, and but don't get like I try not to get too like fixated on it or like land shark and clench onto something, and then you just kind of slip away. It's not great.
That happens too. I mean, like I feel like a lot of times you can like really psych yourself up. Like we were having a conversation at like a little business meeting about our plan for the podcast in the year forward, and we feel like we keep like we're gonna do arenas one day, and it's like there's only 3 of us and like 50 followers, so calm down. So it's really easy to like bite off way more than you can chew, and when you cut up your goals into bite-sized pieces and ask yourself, well, what can I do this week to get there in 3 months? Like if this is my 4-month goal, like Ryan and I are competing in the middle of April, and we both have this goal to achieve a certain physicality and emotional state by that date, right? But if I judged myself today when we go work out later, if I judged myself with how I'm going to do in April today based off my workout, whether it's good or bad, I'm selling myself short. So even if I have a great workout and I'm like, yeah, and I don't work as hard because I feel like I did amazing, or if I feel awful and I beat myself up about it, either way, they're both wastes of energy. You just kind of take it day by day and see how far you can push yourself. If you try to eat the whole thing at once, it's you're going to end up giving up.
Yeah, and to that point, speaking of setting goals and resolutions for yourselves, I think benefit like not saving everything for New Year's, because I think that's also where a lot of the people that do fail are people that have...
Don't talk about December Ed, all right? Because December Ed was like, oh, it's the holidays. It's fine. It's the holidays. What do you mean? Oh, it's the holidays.
Been there, buddy.
Ed, it's June. Yeah, but Christmas was a month ago.
My birthday's in 3 weeks. It's fine, yeah.
Arbor Day.
What are you going to do about Arbor Day?
Yeah.
That's in March, bro.
Who's going to eat this Arbor Day cake if not me? And me.
Flag Day's next
And me.
week.
Yeah,
It's time
I
to
made
get ready.
D-Day cookies.
Time to live in
Here's my Flag Day
They're
pan
in the
pizza
shape-
that I made.
There's like a bunch of like pretzel sticks in the shape of like the claptraps that were on the beach,
Oh, no.
or whatever they call those things.
Claptraps?
Is that what what the fuck they
The
call?
Claptrap is from Borderlands.
Yeah, that's the guy's name, but it's named after something. Hold on, Google.
If they're called Claptraps, it's Claptrop.
Claptrops.
I can
Caltrops?
think of something called a claptrap.
I think it's a Caltrop. Is it not?
Is it a caltrop?
It could be. Let me check. Is an aerial denial weapon made up of 2 or more sharp nails or spines?
Caltrip, that's what it is.
But they're little.
What were those things called?
There you go.
Beachheads of Normandy. Big metal things.
I forgot them already in caps. Oh,
Yeah,
beachheads.
Normandy beach metal things.
Yeah, what are they called?
That's literally what I'm Googling right now. Normandy beach metal things. What are those metal things? Those metal things, God, why do you have to have a whole article beforehand?
There isn't a name for them. They're
The
just
internet's
things.
moving too slow.
Let me see if I can figure this out.
Normandy Beach things.
Normandy D-Day beaches. We are in the weeds.
There's like no name for them.
I don't think there is a name.
They're those things. They're those thingies.
Metal crosses. Czech hedgehogs.
What? Czech, like as in Czechoslovakia? Or like check your hedgehog?
Yeah, along with all this, they were also those metal cross thingies, or to give them their proper name, Czech. I had to go through like 3 pages of information to get to Czech hedgehogs.
Ugh.
Czech as in Czech Republic.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that was real.
I don't like that.
As the name suggests, the Czech hedgehog was invented in Czechoslovakia and was mostly designed to serve as a deterrent for tanks and other armored vehicles, as well as, in this particular case, if the tide was right, approaching ships attempting to land on shore. There we go.
We've done it.
12
We did
minutes
it.
into our New Year's
We did it.
episode, and we figured out what Czech hedgehogs
Well,
are.
they're not whatever I said they were. That I can't even remember anymore.
Claptrap.
Claptraps.
Caltrips. I was
Caltrips.
thinking of caltrips. I was thinking I'm not smart, so sorry guys.
If you're still here,
Ed's
this is what I'm
incredibly
thinking.
dumb.
Yeah,
Painfully dumb. It's loud how dumb he is.
Ryan picks me up and takes me here.
I give him a little plastic wheel.
Yeah,
You got a little Ed stroller. It's like, how many months old? 378. That's my 378 month old.
Just shitting himself.
this is my baby. He's 1,000 weeks old.
That's so funny.
190 pound, 1,000-week-old baby. It's a massage therapist.
Yeah, this baby's a massage therapist.
1,000 weeks is only like 20 years. So.
No, you'd be young.
About like 2,000 years old.
2,000
2,000 weeks old. All right, we're gonna cut all this out.
Anyway,
Bye, buddy.
but with setting those goals, I think a lot of the failure rate that you see from people are those same people who like have no base of anything, and they're just like, I'm gonna do this week, and they have like, or this month, and they have like no. And even that, like, they'll be like, for this year, I'm going to do this. It's like, year, all right, why don't you just start with, like, the month? And see how the month, cause, and a lot of that comes from just a lack of understanding of, like, because, they only really dip their toe in, like, the self-improvement pool, like, once a year, some people, and they're just like, I'm going to do this, and it's like, you, like, don't know yourself at all to be like, all right, you're probably not. So, like, even taking that into this case of, like, with us, just some goals for the podcast. We are going to be pumping out a lot more content and a lot more consistently this year. That's what most of the meeting was about, was figuring out a way to do that. And maybe you could, some of this could be taken for you guys. That what we did was, I told Ed, I'm like, listen, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect in like what we want to do and how we talk about things and what we're actually able to do. And I think part of that is us not being realistic and us not living in the reality of like, that we have lives outside of the podcast. So we want to be able to treat this as a job, but doing it in a way that takes into account like, okay, how do we make that happen? How do we do that? And for us,
Like, it's not like your boss just leaving like a whole stack of work on your desk and being like, all right, get it done.
Figure it out, stupid.
Instead of being like, all right, we need these reports by this day on
Right,
this,
exactly. So we can set proper expectations, and through that, we set up kind of a system of like minimums and like ideals. So like we have an idea of like, for me, or like for any of us, all right, we're gonna post, all right, we would love to be able to post a Instagram clip each day. All right, but we haven't been able to do that. So let's do no less than 3. And then whoever's doing that can agree to that. Be like, all right, 3 is doable. That's good. I can do that. And then you're able to become excited about what you're doing because
3 per week, right?
I think 3 per year, probably.
Yeah, we're gonna
3 per,
do
1 per quarter.
That's how we did in 23.
See you guys in April.
And so for us, that allows us to kind of, it gives us a good kind of workaround through our kind of this like sludginess we've been in with kind of getting to do the things we want to do and help reinvigorate us and not have it feel like this big giant thing, and making it into bite-sized, actual achievable portions that can help motivate us into actually getting it done, which leading to more consistency just in what we're doing. So the project is not just, this accountability project is not just for us separately or as martial artists, but also the accountability of us doing the project also.
Right. It's like, we have goals and things that we want to do. We talk all the time about, like, to the people who do subscribe to the Patreon and everything like that, like, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we're gonna need to figure out something special that we can do for you guys outside of just say thank you. And I think in this whole new realm of content that will come to us more easily with the more that we create and more that we put out there. Like, what we can do, I would say behind the scenes is probably the easiest thing that we can probably do, is like behind the scenes type stuff for Patreon, and more detailed training stuff for our Kung Fu peeps. But at the same time, that's all content that we could be putting out there. So it's hard to figure out what we can and can't do in that realm. And I feel like we've all kind of gotten into this realm where it's like, well, this is a lot of work, this is a lot of mental energy, and I also have to, like, deal with the insurance company, and I have to, my car just got totaled. Like Ryan's trying to make money and live his life. I'm trying to build my business. John, actually, we're going to be restructuring some things in a few months because John has a huge, very, very exciting announcement. Would you like to tell everybody?
Sure. Yeah, so my wife and I are expecting our first child in March.
Woo!
So I'm going to be a dad. It's going to be awesome. And that's also, a lot of us have had a lot going on, and us getting ready and doing what we need to do is a lot of what has kept me specifically away from being as busy as we should be with the show.
The amount of hours you've been working to try to save up for everything that's happening is admirable and intense. I'm stressed out thinking about it.
Yeah, I've been on a lot of planes and a little bit of weeks, and just working and just trying to stack bills until the little one arrives. So it just I've kind of been running myself ragged. And,
do you guys know what you're having?
No, we're gonna
keep it a surprise.
Yeah, we're gonna wait until baby enters this world for the it's a boy or it's a girl moment. No gender reveal. No silly shit like that, just like...
No setting California on fire with fireworks or anything like that.
Yeah, like that one gender reveal, they hired a plane to fly over and release colored smoke, and it fucking crashed. And can't believe... There's a body count for gender reveal parties.
We're going to try to avoid that kind of tragedy.
There was one where they literally made a pipe bomb, and it killed Grandma.
Oh my God, no! What?
They made this couple made an explosive.
I just turned to Little John for a second there. What? Okay!
Apparently, this couple made an explosive that was essentially a pipe bomb that was supposed to pink smoke, blue smoke, and they killed a family member with it. So that's it's not the reason that we're not doing a gender reveal, but it's certainly
it's good motivation. It is a good reason. If that is the reason, it's a good reason not to do it.
I'm not trying to make a pipe bomb, so
just so all the government agencies know.
Yeah, all the alphabet boys out there, don't search my shed.
Yeah. I'm also old enough to remember when the ice cream man used to sell smoke bombs. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
and a little
smoke bombs, fart bombs, fake cigarettes.
The pop, the snapper, whatever the fuck they're called. I'm doing bad at not cursing today. Sorry,
it's okay.
Guys.
It's fine. We'll try it for next time.
The candy cigarettes too. I remember.
Yeah,
those.
The candy cigarettes for sure. Yeah, you're not gonna grow up to be a smoker.
Yeah, they set me up for the real ones pretty good.
I mean, because listen, when you're younger, you really do think you look cool.
No,
and you know what?
Sure.
I did.
Nothing quite like finishing up a roller hockey game and then puffing on a pack of red apples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't end up actually smoking 2 packs a day. That was me.
This is true. This is true.
Yes. But yes, not to digress too far. Baby's coming. We're getting ready for baby, and it certainly is motivation for us to restructure, regroup, and figure out a plan so we can get content to you guys and also not lose track of our own goals and our own ideas.
Yeah, the linchpin, like I was talking about with all of this, is Kung Fu. And not even just like Kung Fu is like a mystical whole, but just the practice, the disciplined practice, you know, of always trying to improve yourself, not even just in your technique or your physicality, but just like who you are as an individual. I think like that's like the biggest takeaway for me from Kung Fu, is that it's not about just getting people into the cage and hoping you make a bunch of money and seeing how you do, you know, like, or going off of talent, you know, like finding a Tyson in the woods who is, you know, he's 12 years old and he's 475 pounds, you know, like
He plays center for Ole Miss.
yeah, you know, like
He has 4 kids. He's 10.
so it's like you know it's not that's not the point of it all, you know what I mean, is like you know, what was his name, the coach, Mike Tyson's coach,
Customato.
yeah, Customato. He never even got married because he was like, I'm too into boxing, so I'm not gonna like do that to a woman. And it's like, it's a little, you know, kind of ridiculous if you think about it, you know, like you got to find balance, you got to live your life, and you can still be great. You just have to find a way to structure everything and dedicate yourself to just being a little bit better every day, you know, just a little bit better every day. And that's what we're trying to do. And I feel like we definitely didn't we didn't get what we wanted to get done in 23. And so in 24, we're trying to figure out a way where we can all kind of lean on each other a little bit more, as opposed to avoid each other because we haven't been keeping up with what we said we were going to do. And if we let anybody down out there, you know, I'm sorry that we haven't been as on top of our game as we wanted to be. But we've said since episode 1 that we're just people who are just trying to do this. You know what I mean? Like we present the show and you know, these are 2 film and TV experts that I have sitting next to me. So the presentation and the look of everything is tremendously professional because of these guys. So it kind of elevates the show to a place where it seems a lot bigger than it really is. But really, we're all working like 60 to 70 hours a week and training and trying to edit and do the show. And a lot of times that means staying up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to edit something and put it out. And there just has not been the energy or the drive to make those things happen, I guess I would say, in the last 6 to 7 months. It's been very difficult for all of us with everything that we've had going on. And John has had so much traveling to do on top of the work and the traveling, and John has been the editor. So, you know, it's been we've been doing our best to still put stuff out there, and going into the new year, we have a lot of ideas, a lot of plans, and a lot of stuff that we want to share with you. And our whole journey, training from now until April, is something we definitely want to put out as content, not only for us to document the journey, but to hopefully motivate and inspire.
No, definitely, and again, just, you know, with certain elements and aspects of life, just kind of happen and get in the way. Like, I know for me personally, like,
I'm getting married in 5 months.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean, or 6 months. You know,
like, I'm definitely probably working less than you guys are, for sure. But like, there's like a bunch of other stuff going on that's just, you know, it's just managing everything, and it's just that plus the holidays. It's a lot. You know, it's we're trying to manage the best we can. So we just want you guys to know that we are thinking about you guys and are always like, all right, we gotta kind of get back on the horse and kind of figure this out and kind of make sure that, you know, because, you know, we don't want to let us down. We also don't want to let you guys down. We're building this kind of for all of us to be able to use and kind of piggyback off of. So, you know, we need it too. So
yeah, there's this grand dream of, like, the same way that Deadly Art of Survival does the Deadly Art of Survival Con and does a seminar at the convention. Like, we want to do the same thing, or even partner with them and do like a huge martial arts expo.
Martial
like,
Minds Fest, yeah.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I mean, like, think about how cool that would be, and like having like a Comic-Con for martial arts type thing. You know, like
when you pitched that idea, it was like one of those like goosebumps.
Yeah, like that could be really cool. But, you know, obviously, like, this is something that's going to take a long time, and we're so tremendously niche that, like, it, you know.
Yeah.
Consistency is the only way that goal is going to happen, and we're trying to, you know, not bite off more than we can chew, yet at the same time make a commitment to you guys. So one of the things that I'm doing is I've committed to this whole new diet plan. Committed to this whole new diet plan for this month, trying to really get away from things, cutting out canned energy drinks and pre-workouts, limiting my caffeine, and not eating any processed foods. So if it didn't come from the earth, I'm not eating it. That's basically how that goes.
Sorry, Nabisco.
Yeah.
We're not going to be eating any of your cheesed, air-puffed, chocolate-filled ganache starfishes or whatever.
I don't know whatever you said, but it sounds delicious.
Yeah, actually.
It was just a lot of different things. I
It
didn't
sounds
know
like it
together.
looks like a Staryu. You know what I mean? Like a chocolate on the outside and like cheese on the inside.
It might give you cancer.
Yeah.
It will
It
definitely,
definitely give- yeah, 100%
give you
give you
cancer.
It will take years off your life.
Yeah. Let me eat this box of cigarettes. Like, they're cheese filled.
But for me, you know, and getting up earlier, training more consistently outside of the school and in the school, just trying to, you know, getting older. I'm not old, but I'm getting older, and I have to be smart about the things that I'm doing. So I feel like diet and honestly canned energy drinks, I feel like those have really been
energy
what's
drinks are
holding me
big.
back. I don't really realize how much they were doing to my body and to my energy levels, and potentially even like the inflammation levels in my body and my joints, because just like 36 hours or 48 hours without them,
And also to your sleep.
my knees feel better. My sleep, I crashed in the middle of the night last night. I'm hitting REM, you know what I mean, dreaming more, and it's like, whoa, okay. I probably was really hurting myself, like just trying to grind and grind and grind and grind and grind, and then it's like I realize I always have a can in my hand. I'm always drinking something like what has caffeine in it, and not getting to water because I'm drinking these things instead.
Yeah.
And then there's a refrigerator full of them at my job.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like they're just right there. And it's not even like I have to do a transaction every time. I can just grab them and then let Mike know at the end of the week how much I took.
That's called theft. Wait, temporary theft. I'm just kidding.
Well, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I'm just playing.
It's the honor.
Like I
it's-
took one energy drink.
Yeah, it's I'm on camera. It's like, they'll know.
But being facetious.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, you don't realize sometimes how, like, the point that I'm trying to make is not just to talk about me, but like sometimes you don't realize how significant small changes can be to how you feel and what that's going to allow you to do.
Yeah.
Like, I still feel like I'm in my prime. I still feel healthier and stronger than I've ever been. But then it's like, why can't I get into a horse stance? Why do my hips feel so tight constantly? Why am I always kind of in pain? Why does my lower back always flared up? And like, that's not there right now. So whether it's the cutting out of the processed foods, cutting out gluten, cutting out high levels of caffeine and whatever other shit and artificial sweeteners are in those energy drinks. It really probably is the artificial sweeteners. That's probably another big issue, I would imagine. And now I'm drinking over the course of the past couple of days a lot more water because I'm not drinking those energy drinks instead of water. So it's like, I think just in a few days that's having a huge effect. So small changes and just committing to them is difficult, but I think it can make a world of difference, and I'm excited to see where it's going to take me over the course of the next month. That being said, I psyched myself up all December for it. So it wasn't like I was like, now, you know, like when people are like, I can't take it anymore, and then they quit after a week. All December long, I was like, I'm going to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So that way in January, I don't miss anything.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I ate whatever I wanted. For the most part, I still tried to be good during the day, and like I would just eat whatever I wanted at night. Like, you know, I ate whatever I wanted over the holidays. I didn't limit myself with cookies and candies and ice creams and all that nonsense. And then literally New Year's Eve, Jenny went to bed, and I threw everything in the house away. All the snacks in the cabinet, little tiny liquor bottles that were given to us. Sorry, whoever bought them for us. You know what I mean? Like little tiny liquor bottles that you get in gift bags all the time. Like all the little the chocolate cookie discs and the gold coin chocolate. You know, like everything. I just ate what I wanted and then threw the rest away because it's not worth it to have it in the house as a temptation because that's how you fall off.
Yeah. 100%.
It's like having a cigarette. Oh, just one. The next thing you know, you're smoking for 6 more months.
You're just lighting the pack up. You're just
Like potato chips, you can't just have one. Yeah.
No, seriously.
You're just letting up your cancer harmonica. Just
How are you preparing for April? Like, what is the big thing you want to? Did you do any resolutions? Do you have anything you're trying to cut out or change? Or
I
anything
would
like
say
that?
for me, I'm saying it in a way that I think is taking into account and taking stock of like how I operate and kind of what can happen. So I think for me, and I've already been starting doing it, but for me, like meditation is going to be a much bigger part of this year. My goal is to be pretty much just meditating right when I get up, kind of like we were talking about before. Like kind of just I get up every day, thank God. And just like, so if I don't, then I'm dead. But if I get up every day, then I just kind of like shift a pillow behind me, sit on the wall, and just kind of like meditate. So meditating is because my anxiety has definitely been much higher this year than last year. And also, too, I just think as we're getting into the winter, I think the meditation will be very key because I think just my mood and anxiety and also kind of just the daylight savings time has been like taking much more of a toll on me this year than I think years in the past.
That's a day that should not exist. I hate daylight
It's
savings.
a stupid thing we don't
pointless.
do for any reason. Other states got rid of it. We should get rid of it here.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree completely.
But I think because also again I'll be like Uber, like doing like Uber Eats a lot, and just being like away from people by myself, just like driving around in the dark.
Yeah.
For like
So,
the
like,
whole day is just like it's.
We have a lot of listeners in like England and stuff like that, so I don't know if they do that over there, but just to explain to anybody who doesn't live in a country with daylight savings time, it's the dumbest thing. As soon as the winter hits and it's cold and depressing, they shift the clocks an hour so it's dark at 4.
Yep.
So you're not even out of work yet. You get to work and the sun is barely shining, and then you go into work, and then you're inside all day, and then you leave, and then you look like we do. Like the screen right now is totally
I think they look like that.
blasted
Yeah,
out.
I think-
What
I
happened?
don't think English people have a problem looking like us. I think
That's true, actually. We're just super pale and always in the dark. So I guess the English know exactly what we're talking about.
I think we're pretty handsome. I don't know. I'm just
daylight savings time.
It's been overcast.
Yeah.
It's been overcast. It's been overcast for about 600 years in England, I think.
what's the weather gonna be like? Shit.
Yeah.
That's what. Stay inside.
We're gonna write the Magna Carta, and then it's gonna be raining. Since
Like-
then to now.
I guess it's
Forever.
like 8-9 years ago already, which is crazy. But I was in Limerick in Ireland, and my friend was at the University of Limerick at the time, and my brother and sister and I met up with her, and we were walking around, and I'm like, "What season is it?" Because it was August.
All of them.
And she's like, yeah, like it'll go by hour. Like it'll be like 70, and then you'll be kind of warm, and then it'll pour, and then it'll be freezing, and it'll be warm again. And I'm like, what, like the week? And she's like, no, today. I'm like, what?
So I just leave the house in my jacket and my thong? Like, how do I dress for this weather? I don't
Yeah.
understand. What am I supposed to wear?
Should
my knees be out?
You
I don't
sweat,
know.
you get wet, then you dry off. That's how it goes.
There is no weather that can prepare the world for Ryan in a thong. So don't. You're not ready for
Oh,
it.
it's a little hot in here. Time for me to have 99% of my legs out.
Got a little bow tie.
It's like not even the spectacle itself. It's just his behavior is just gonna. It's gonna make it. He's gonna become feral.
It's like, yeah, you think I'm feral? No, you wait till I'm in a thong.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be really feral.
If I
It's a
ever
sign.
see you in breakaway pants, I'm leaving.
That's a canary in a coal mine right there. Ryan with no pants, get the fuck away from him.
Anywho,
Yeah.
now we're back from me being in the Ryan in a thong.
So
segment.
anyway, your anxiety's been bad.
Yeah. Okay. I want to try to. I think I need to. And this has been kind of a long time coming, but I would like to get more grounded. I think I need to get more rooted, kind of emotionally, because I feel like my nervous system has just been like this for like a whole year, and it's just, and especially too, I've noticed too, like anxiety increasing at certain times. So like in the evening, and also when I'm driving. So it's been great for Uber when I'm driving at night. So I'm just like, trying to, and not anxiety from not driving anxiety, but I just notice an uptick in that. And I've just, in general, I've noticed an uptick in just my mind kind of getting away from me a little bit. So meditation is very key. And on top of that, too, speaking into the next thing, having a more detailed workout regimen and plan. But speaking to what we were saying before about having prep time and not just being like, I haven't worked out before, I'm going to work out 7 days a week starting January 1st. No, you're fucking not. You're not. If you do, great, but you're probably not. So, like, for me, one, we have a long history of working out and exercising in general. But for me, for the last probably like month or so, I've been kind of inadvertently prepping for January 1st because I was like, all right, I'm going to start this new routine that kind of hits a lot of my weak spots I got to work, and also prepping for the tournament of working a lot of like zone 2 cardio base and a lot of kind of just good power exercises and just
He
kind of
doesn't
like,
want to say it, but he's doing pole fitness,
that's what the thong is for.
It's great
I'm
for
doing
your core.
I'm going to thong fit. That's what I'm going.
It's thong fit. Well, there's a lot of job opportunities open up for you when you get that fit.
Ryan's got 28-inch heels and just
Click.
So it's I feel that like I have a much better base where like I've been doing the exercises for a couple weeks now, and not perfectly, but like the last 2 weeks I was sick, and then it was the holidays, So like that was kind of whatever. But then like yesterday I went to the gym after Ubering for like 8 hours and I like walked on the treadmill for 45 minutes and I fucking hated it. You know? I just have a 30-pound vest on and I'm like, I just want to go home. And it's fucking annoying. But like, so for me, that's a perfect example of like, I almost like the idea of if you're starting something for New Year's, kind of just like preps and start it a month early. Like honestly, like I really feel like for me, like one of the reasons that like this workout thing I know is going to be successful is because like I'm already kind of, I have a running start into the new year. I have momentum going into the new year. And whether that's actually doing it or just having an actual tangible plan, you know, I think is like super really key. So meditation and working out for me are the two biggest things. And also on kind of an not martial or physical level is just being more spending more time to be putting more intention into creativity, ingesting more, taking in more art and more film, and trying to create more this year, whether it's a short film or just even more like funny like YouTube content. That's really those are really the three biggest things. Of course there's all other smaller stuff of just, you know, or other, I don't want to say smaller things, but those are the three big things that I can think of for me personally. But of course, there's always spending more time with family, spending more time with Bianca, spending more time with you guys, so more time with loved ones, and you know, making more time for just trying more things this year. I think last year was a bit of a rut, with just kind of like,
For sure.
just kind of falling down a hill for like 365 days.
Well, and it's easy to put yourself
You know?
into a rut because it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
like my business is like, you know, if I don't get any clients in for a month, I'm fucked.
yeah,
So it's like, is that gonna really happen though?
no,
No.
Right.
But then, so why am I laying in bed like, why did I raise my prices? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Why am I even taking insurance? What happens if they pull the wrong out of me? What if? Well, it hasn't happened yet. So all you can do is go forward. And then when it does happen, you figure it out. As horrible as it will be in the moment, if you spend your entire life, it's like we were talking about with the workload. It's the same thing. It's not, but it is. You know it's going to take 6 hours to do. So you don't start because you don't want to do it for the next 6 hours.
Yeah.
But maybe you do like 30 minutes.
yeah,
You know, and chip away at stuff. Maybe instead of cutting 18 clips in one sitting, you cut one and you go, I'll get back to it later and I'll pick up where I left off. You know, not just you, but I mean, like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and the same thing for me. Like, I want to edit a video. Well, I don't have to do the whole thing right now, but I can certainly like create a rundown and like get the project started in the computer. That way, it's in there, and that step is at least done.
Right.
And then when I get a chance, even if it takes a couple extra days, and it'll also be easier to pick it back up because I already started it. So many people don't even begin.
Right.
They don't even begin because they don't want to. I know the crow is distracting, but
Yeah, I opened the windows.
they you know they don't even start because they don't know.
yeah.
They don't. How do I word it? They don't begin because there's so much in front of them that they don't think that they can tackle the entire thing.
Yeah.
So it becomes really stressful, and it becomes this. I know. He's like, shut the fuck up, Ed.
They went from like one bird, now there's like 12.
Yeah, they're having a meeting outside. There's
Yeah.
a bird podcast going on in our
Yeah.
bushes.
Birdcast.
Birdcast.
A birdcast, a bast.
All right. Are they done? Should I close the windows?
I think you're okay. You're gonna sweat
Yeah,
through
I'm-
your hat.
I'm gonna
if
get
you-
real moist.
Yeah.
Real moist if
Yeah.
that happens.
Okay.
That was almost a Monty Python.
Yeah. It's okay for men to express the full breadth of emotions.
The Cree.
My new
Yeah.
my new favorite is you ever heard Don Fry talk?
Yeah, dude. These
Girls gonna paint their toenails.
fighters nowadays paint their
Paint their toenails.
We used to fight, and your prize for winning was you get to fight again.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, Don.
You go to the hospital, you go to the after party, or you can do both.
I've
Paint
heard
their
that so much.
toenails.
It's like, all right, you're really obsessed with their toenails, so
I mean, like Don Fry, like just the Predator, man. Like
Yeah.
the one clip of him in that other.
He's literally Omni-Man.
yeah.
J.K. Simmons, if he was like 70 pounds heavier and could beat the piss out of anyone.
Yeah.
No, Don Fry. They're different UFC, dude. Different
my God.
UFC back then.
Yeah.
Like, that was a whole other thing.
Probably illegal by today's standards.
Yeah,
Very
it's-
illegal.
You could
Well,
wind up
if
in
Joe
a
Rogan
cell.
says they were doing smell tests for steroids back then.
Oh yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's great.
But so, John, what about you for the new year? What about you for 2020? Outside of
The
fatherhood.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the main one, is just trying to be trying to set an example for my soon-to-be born child. But I mean, I've touched on it in prior episodes that I've been slipping this year and gradually clawing my way back. So I think just finding a way to be more consistent, small bites, like we mentioned, small steps. Whereas like, and I think about what Ryan has said in past episodes a lot, like the way you were saying, like, you're going to settle these big goals, but do you even know what you're capable of, And it's like, that's something that I think about often. I really do. And why start in January when you can start now?
Yeah, small steps become miles traveled.
Right. And so like we've touched on in the past where like, I've, years past I had a thing with drinking. I would drink a lot. And, after the test, I slipped up and I was having a bad time and not taking care of myself. And, from November and December, it was pretty much like, that's when I was like seriously pulling it back and like really, like, all right, no drinking during the week, just on the weekend. And that was pretty much the rule I set for myself and kind of how I tamped that back quite a bit. And now Ed and I are doing dry January. So it's like ramping
dry
yourself
future.
up. Yeah, dry next few months for me.
Yeah. I'll support you through it too. You know what I mean? Like if you want to go dry together until the baby's born, I'll do it with you.
Well, that's kind of the goal I'm setting in the back of my head. But like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, it's like I try not to be like, so this is my goal, and like kind of land shark onto it, because then I get psyched out and just like, I don't know if I can do it anymore. Never mind. Yeah, I'm running away. But so I'm just run away, run away. So that's kind of I've been gradually working up to just doing another dry January, hopefully February and March. Because that's what we did last year with great success. And
and I think the mistake we made last year is that February 1st we just got wasted.
We accidentally got wasted on February 1st.
I tripped, fell, and landed in a 12-pack.
Yeah,
damn it.
We were like, we were sober for a month. Let's get as fucked up as humanly possible, and then go to Paces and spend $500 on dinner.
That was worth it.
We could definitely go to Paces again and do like a celebratory February like big meal and like a once a year like big steakhouse meal. I would love to do that, but I don't think we need to center the entire day around like day drinking and then getting a cab to the place.
All right, well, if you don't want to, we don't have to. But
no, 100%.
I'll do it.
So I've just
went a little overboard. I don't think there's time or place for that this year.
Yeah, granted, it's as a 32-year-old man now, it's like it doesn't provide the same kind of pleasure that it used to anymore. It really, really doesn't, and it's just kind of like. When you say like the whole New Year's resolution saving until January, it's like I've just kind of been ramping up to stay away from it from a bit and just kind of focus on things that are actually productive and helpful and cool and kung fu centric. And then, of course there'll be a natural uptick in one's own individual health if you do that for long enough. And preparing for a kid is quite a big event. So, being more healthy is better than being less healthy when you got to take care of a human larva,
Yeah.
That's what I did with cigarettes.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not going to smoke today. And then tomorrow came, and I was like, well, I didn't smoke yesterday, so I guess I shouldn't smoke today. And then that just, snowballed.
Mm-hmm.
It just snowballed into I haven't had a cigarette in years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's those little bites, and then all of a sudden you've gone such a long way. So that's the plan for me, is just to cut back on that, be more productive, and try to set a good example. I want to start some reading too. I want to read a little more than I have in the past.
We got to learn how first. So.
Yeah, I know. I know some words. The
letters are just in orders that I don't know.
Listen, as long as I can color, I'm pretty sure I can get through a book. Like 25 pages, right?
Come on.
Is that Louis C.K. that has a bit about adult coloring books? Somebody's got a bit about adult coloring books. I can't remember who it was, but it's just hilarious. It's like you have a 34-year-old laying on the floor at the airport. Like I forget what comedian that was.
So funny.
I can't think of who it was.
I've seen spectacles at the airport.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness! Like if you're catching a 6 a.m. flight, you're there at 4, and you see a wide variety of people that just don't want to be there.
Yeah.
No one wants to be at the airport at 4 a.m.
No,
but
God.
Everyone who's in the airport wants to be at Starbucks at 4 a.m. So avoid that,
dude.
I
think we realize the worst possible person in well. Hold on.
We're getting there.
The worst position to have there.
Do you smell toast?
In that scenario is to be the person working at Starbucks that has to open at 4 at the airport. That's the worst thing.
Yep. I worked at Starbucks in the mall at Christmas.
Yeah, there's a 2X Starbucks people right here. Not me, them.
Yeah,
that was like the worst thing ever.
Oh yeah, it's just.
I literally had somebody be like, I said no whipped cream. Are you fucking stupid? Like literally.
Should have just thrown it in the garbage,
dude. I almost did. I
almost did. I just don't have enough F's to give, man. I really don't.
Someone's like, yeah, it's just.
She didn't say it to me. She said it to the girl that was next to me, and I turned to the woman. And I was like, really? I was like, here, and I scooped it off and handed the drink back there. I was like, see you later. Call my district manager. Her name's Fran.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Yeah, no, seriously.
You know, like
And that actually reminds me of something. I was talking to one of my coworkers recently, and there's something that goes on where so basically I've been putting a lot of funny situations in live TV, you know, and referring to those situations, my friend James said, an emergency from unpreparedness on your end does not elicit an emergency from me. Which means like you've mismanaged your time and you're having trouble, but it doesn't elicit an emergency response from me. You get my work from me at my pace in a way I deem as appropriate.
Or just because you're in a hurry because of your own personal shortcomings doesn't mean that I need to rush for you.
Right, I'm not going to panic. So it's not exactly the same as whipped cream lady, but it just that tone kind of.
Also, fuck whipped cream lady.
Yeah, but like
It
it is. But like it is. And
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like, I don't know how this was for you in the stores that you were in, but like it's amazing how often things like that happened. Excuse me. Ultimately, when I became a manager, there were two instances that I can remember right now off the top of my head that like will stick with me forever. And there was one.
I'm so sorry. Put that on.
The fucking guy over here.
How dare you? Really, how dare you? But
First day on the show.
there were two instances that stick out to me in particular. And one was I was doing the count. And so, if you imagine, like, this is the he knows.
You won and
this
then
is
two.
this is the drive-through. This is the drive-through window, and then this is the store, and it goes through this way. Then there's like barn doors here, and then in there is all the inventory, and I was doing the inventory count.
Ah, okay.
So I'm in the back room.
Does include numbers though, for sure.
There's numbers involved.
I know some of those.
And
too.
croissants.
read. I
I know
read.
a few of those.
The numbers involved in croissants, and oops, this cookie's broken.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Just breaking and snorting chocolate chip.
And I hear this.
This 40-pack of cookies was broken.
Where's all the snickerdoodles?
I hear the girl at the window being yelled at. And I'm like, there's no reason for anybody to yell ever. It's coffee and cake. Relax. You know?
It's a donut.
Yeah, like shut up.
Go
so like an egg sandwich, like kiss my ass, you know? So I run out, not like run, but like, you know, like, but like I come out and I come straight up to them and I go, excuse me, why is my employee being yelled at?
Yeah.
And the woman just like,
Like,
yeah, literally, like, you know, I don't know, there's something wrong with my drink. And I was like, we'll make you a new one. Go pull up. We'll pull it out to you.
yeah.
Go. See ya. And yeah, seriously. Because I'm me and she's like a 98-pound little, you know, girl. So this woman who looked kind of like Gretchen from Bob's Burgers, you know what I'm talking about? You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like just felt like she could scream at her.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And so that was how I resolved that one. And then there was another one where I had a girl who had a high anxiety. She actually had like an anxiety problem, and she wanted to test her hand at doing like the cafe mobile order bar, and that could be really
That's good for
stressful.
anxiety.
Yeah,
That's
that
perfect.
She was like, no, I can do it, and I was like, are you sure? Because if we get a rush, I don't want you to feel flustered,
especially for drive-through.
And
stuff like that.
And she's like, no. So we had one person that was just drive-through drinks, and another person that was cafe and mobile order, and the cafe and mobile order bar. Like, sometimes that can randomly, like, turn into insanity.
A hellhole.
'Cause especially, like, they stopped it. Now what happens is you pull a ticket and then another one prints. And how it was when I was working was all the tickets
just
came
print.
out at the same time. So you'd have tickets on the floor, dragging on the ground, and you'd be trying to, like, stick them to cups and get them off the ground so nobody steps on them as you're trying to make sure. It was insane. And so this is how it was. So this girl's, I'm like trying to ring people up at the counter.
That is such a stupid. Like, also Starbucks is making the banana peel launcher that shoots banana peels down on the floor randomly at times.
Yeah,
It's
so
my
ridiculous.
fight or flight response is triggering.
Yeah.
Now,
So
guys.
I'm at the register, and all of a sudden, the store explodes. It can go from dead to extreme in like a moment.
Yep.
So like all of a sudden, all these mobile orders are printing. All these people are in the cafe, and I notice there's people waiting and people waiting and people waiting. And the poor girl at the bar is starting to get really flustered, and I can see it in her face. And I'm like, "You good over there?" And she's just like yesing me, and I'm like, "Something's wrong. Something's wrong." And then I hear this woman who, you know, like business attire, short hair, a little older, attitude, and she's
No, I don't think someone like that would have an attitude.
yeah, no, I know what you mean. So and
She loves that. Those people love waiting.
yeah, and she's like, "Excuse me, the person you have," and she's standing right there.
Mm-hmm.
The person here is useless.
Ooh.
And I looked at the woman that was ringing up, and I was like, "Excuse me," and I go over there, and I looked at her, and I said, "Get out," and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, I'm going to make your drink right now, and you better never come back in this store. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm going to call my DM right now. But I'm like, my job as a shift manager is not just to serve you, but it's to protect the people behind the counter. And if you're going to speak to somebody like that, you better not walk in here while I'm working ever again. And I handed her a drink, and she left. And I never heard.
This is a threat.
I am
threatening
I
you.
will kill you. But like, I wanted to jump over that counter and be like, what
yeah.
the fuck is the matter with you? Like, how do you fucking talk to somebody like that?
Some people are just rotten, dude. I don't get it.
Dude, they got nothing good going on other than just like yell at someone working at like a Tim Hortons.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude, it's fun. Yeah, I've had plenty of those things where you're just, because also the other thing too is they're like, they're like, oh, it's coffee. It's like, how, it's like, dude, it's like, honestly, it's like, you're fucking like, it's not, it's like, again, you're not working on an oil rig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not in the North Sea, but it's, but it's like, it's not like, you're not like walking through a department. You're not like walking through Target, like helping someone every like 30 minutes. It's like, you are fucking, if it's busy, it is fucking non-stop. Like, I'd be in there for, this is going to sound probably ridiculous to people who work over 8 hours, but even working like 6 to 7 hours there, you're like cooked.
It's a marathon.
You're cooked.
It's a marathon.
You're not
absolutely
sitting.
Cooked. You get a 15-minute break and maybe a 30-minute lunch. That's not enough time.
Oh, John, and the best part too is for your 10-minute break, if you want to get
it's a 10, not a 15.
if you
That's
want
not real.
Hold on, no. It's going to be less real in a second. If you want to get food, the company policy is that you wait online to order it. Wait for them to make it, and that's included in your break.
Dude, a 30-minute break isn't real.
And
You need an hour lunch.
And
That's
it's
what
the
breaks
same.
are.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So you don't
It's
know
gross.
how many times.
It's so gross.
You don't know how many times people are just like, "Hey, this food's expired. We're gonna leave it in the back for whoever's on break."
And then the manager's like, "Oh, are you gonna wait
Starbucks
online?"
is gonna sue us.
I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. Actually, like
Yeah.
it's like, dude, it's like I'm getting paid $50 an hour to have 3 minutes to eat a ham and cheese croissant in my cold car. I'm like, can you leave me alone for a
and
second?
then there's always
Jesus
there's
Christ.
always like one person who's like 3 years younger than they should be, and they're working this job. You know what I mean? They're
stroller.
like 17, 18 years old, but they have the personality of a 12-year-old, and they're just like we one person got fired because they set the fire alarm off for vaping in the bathroom.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you could do that with a vape?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh
know
yeah.
you could set off fire alarms.
Oh,
Jesus
dude!
Yeah, you
Christ.
can.
When I was in the band, when I was in Mutiny Abroad, me and Jared, the guitar player at the time, we both had just gotten out of. We both just had like 2 really bad breakups.
So you just constant, like, just
And
chimney.
we were super depressed, and that was when I was like vaping to quit smoking, which means I was smoking and vaping.
Yeah, well,
and
when you're
like,
vaping to quit smoking, you're vaping way more.
and so we had a rehearsal studio that we rented, and it was a hangout, but all our music equipment was there, you know. So it was like drum sets and guitar amps and like couches, because you'd invite girls to the rehearsal space. Yeah, I'm dating like one of the 3As of this girl. You want to come to band practice? And it's like,
You can hang on the
God,
couch and watch
like, why the
us.
fuck is she here? But but like, so there's all these couches there, and then there was Wi-Fi, so we decided to LAN. So we go, and we're both playing like World of Warcraft or something together, and just like smoking weed and vaping, and just weed and vaping, and weed and vaping. And the next thing you know, $700 later, because the fire department had to come
Oh my
and
God.
inspect the building, because we're smoking and we're like wasted, and we're just like, we're depressed, so we're gonna play video games and hang out, just vape and weed and vape and weed. And next thing you know, it's like, and we're stoned too, and it's like, bang, 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 bang,
Dude,
bang.
emergency
It's
while
oh my
high.
fucking god, what happened? We're like, who lit a fire? Like, couldn't have been us.
Yeah.
It's not me holding a smoldering cigarette.
Yeah. And the fire department comes, and we're like, who set it off? Like, we have no idea. We have no
don't know
idea.
what happened.
And the
It wasn't
landlord,
The room is filled with smoke. Officers, do you need my license
Yeah.
and registration? It's like
Where's
this is
the
the
fire?
wrong department you're talking to.
I don't know how places like that like don't get shut down, because there was literally a guy at the end of the hallway who rented the room just to sell weed.
It's fabulous.
The only thing that was in that room was an N64 and a shotgun.
Holy shit!
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. This is a 100% true story.
An out-of-date gaming system and a 12 gauge.
It was literally an
Just filled with
N64 and a
buckshot.
shotgun. That's all there was.
We got the control stick for funsies and the BAM stick for whoever the hell I don't want to hang out with.
Yeah. I was like, what else are you
nuts.
guys selling out of here? They're like, oh, we don't nothing.
No,
I'm like,
don't worry about
okay,
it.
sure.
Don't worry about it. That's the answer.
Are you a cop?
So I wanted to so Starbucks and helping out people who work in customer service or ringing bells. I learned something really important recently that I'm going to be taking with me on my next trips.
I'm excited.
This is big. The next time next time anyone gets on a plane, make sure you bring a handful of $10 Starbucks gift cards. And when your flight attendant comes around, it doesn't have to be Christmas, any time of year, just give them a Starbucks gift card. Be like, hey, I know this job's hard, so thanks for what you're doing. I really appreciate it. You don't understand how much your life's going to change when you start doing this. My friend Rob told me about this, so I haven't tried it yet. They will bring meals from first class to you.
John's friend
get fed.
John's
if you
friend
give
got a
them gift cards.
blowjob from the captain.
Probably. Dude,
It was crazy.
Forget
and they,
about it.
while they were letting him fly the plane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They're like, this is
hang
what
on your arm.
autopilot's for. You know what I'm saying?
So just like spend $50, get $5 $10 Starbucks gift cards, keep them in your backpack, and give them to your flight attendant
Dude.
when they come around. Not at the beginning. Like wait till they come to you, and they will hang on
That's
your
a
arm.
great. That's a pro move. That's
So,
a great
That's
idea.
a really pro. Well, that's like my uncle. My uncle would always tell me to tip people before the work is done. He's like, everybody wants you to tip after. Wait for the job to be good, and then you pay them. And you feel like if they get money first, it's not going to happen. He goes, that's not the way reality works. He's like, if you give them a few bucks beforehand, and then they do a really good job, and you throw them like 5 more. So like anytime I get my car washed, as they're wiping it down, I hand everybody a 10. And then next thing you know, my car's like,
So it's just a different car.
I wish I could do that.
It has like a price tag on it. Like, where is this from?
yeah,
Like,
how'd
don't
you
worry
get me a
about
BMW? They want?
Suddenly, it's a Subaru.
Yeah.
But I wish I could do that with the pizza delivery guy, but unfortunately, I'm not Nightcrawler, so I can't teleport. Like, hey, do a good job.
Well, that's different. That's
Yeah,
a
I
little
know, I'm
different.
just talking shit.
We're talking service versus delivery.
Yeah. No, but that's a big move. I
That's
should
a
take that
great,
home.
yeah, that is a big.
Yeah.
That's big brain activities right there.
Because like
Yeah.
think about it, like everything. Let's just say you want to get a beer on a plane, it's like easily $10. So like per beer, so. You give somebody that gift card, and they'll hook you up with food, with free beers, with whatever you want. They'll come back to your chair specifically. It's pretty cool. Maybe
I don't
it
think
won't
I've
be the
flown
same
on a
every
flight
time.
that serves alcohol. I'm always flying in the morning.
Oh, dude, like you can get beers on an early flight. Like you can do that. Trust me, you can do that. But yeah, no, and it's not even just about the free beer because like there's a Starbucks in every airport. You're giving them that gift card. Now coffee's on you. Now it's just one less thing they got to worry about, and it's just kind. It's just a nice thing
that's
to do.
great.
So,
Dude, when I flew to Arizona, I was like the worst person to sit next to because I was like full like little kid energy. Like my backpack was full of nothing but
vibrating.
toys and entertainment. Like I remember the flight back. The flight there was nice because there was nobody in the middle, and so the woman on the end was like, "Do whatever the fuck you want. Like I don't care." But on the way back to New York, I was crammed in with 2 people who like just needed to like sit. They just, I don't understand how you can just sit there like this and just watch something for fucking 6 hours. Because I'm like, I had like my iPad and then I'm watching Alien. And then I'm like, all right, I'm tired of watching Alien. Out comes the Steam Deck. And like, I'm trying not to get in anybody's way and the backpack's under the seat. And I'm like,
I've done the same dance every single time.
oh, I'm going to read a book.
Yes.
I'm still uncomfortable.
You're just in the overhead cabin.
Yeah.
You're just.
And my back is always tight because I worked out a lot while I was away, and my back was super tight. And I'm like, hi,
How are you?
sorry,
I'm just trying to stretch.
yeah. And then the neck pillow when I'm trying to sleep, I look ridiculous.
Dude,
Just
don't-
7 hours of Ed fidgeting.
Yeah,
People
seriously.
who don't travel wear neck pillows. Like there's a rookie. They got the neck pillow on in the airport. It's like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like you only bought that because they sell them here. Like who actually? Do you actually use your neck pillow?
Yeah, 100%.
Word. I did buy one and immediately discovered it was useless. So-
I have an old injury and my neck really hurts a lot of the time. I fucked myself up trying to do a head spring.
Wow.
You know what a head spring is?
I would assume it involves bouncing off of your head.
It's a kip up off your head, basically. Sweet. So I tried to do it at the climbing gym, and the floor was really soft, and my neck went.
Oh
And I
God!
was stuck like this forever, and I still have like shit in here, and my neck gets really, really tight. I also
rough.
look down all day long.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't help. So the neck pillow was really just like, as I was watching the movie, I could just rest on it as I was watching something.
But John, to your point though, it definitely, I think for a lot of people who do get neck pillows, it is like they just show up at the airport and they're like, $70. What is this doing in here? And they just get this out of here. And they just like, give me a neck pillow.
My neck pillow is from home, thank you. I didn't buy a special neck pillow.
John, Ed didn't go to Hudson News.
I did get the book I'm currently reading at Hudson News, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm going to pick this up again, and I read like the first third of it when I picked it up. And when
Under
I was
the
away.
Desk with Monica Lewinsky. Oh, okay. What are you reading at?
It's a fictional story that takes place like 50 years in the future about a scientist who has to work with a AI person, a cyborg person. To determine whether or not a certain species of octopus have become sentient. And it's all about what is sentience, what is intelligence. That's kind of the whole thing. I think that's like what they're trying to say about like the robot person, because he's like the only one, and he thinks he's a person, and he gets really depressed that other people don't think he's a person. You know, it's actually a really interesting story that I can't remember what it's called right now.
So how does
Mountain Under the Sea? I'm pretty sure it's called Mountain Under the Sea.
Where does Monica Lewinsky tie into that?
We're
Am I behind?
I wonder what she looks like.
Does she
now,
work at
honestly.
Starbucks? What's
don't
going
wanna
on?
I don't want to know either. Yeah.
so
Could you imagine being Monica Lewinsky?
No.
Yeah,
I'd rather
that
not.
honestly seems pretty shitty.
Yeah, no.
That seems.
You giving me the synopsis of
That's definitely a mouthful.
yeah. Oh God, I'm done here. This is the final episode of the Martial Mind podcast. No, but you give
We
me
waited until we were an hour in to get dirty. Okay, we did good.
We did.
We did good.
Yeah,
We did.
we're-
No, but you giving the synopsis for Mountain Under the Sea felt like you just told me an inside joke, and I'm on the outside. I'm like, there's octopuses. Now I got to check.
How many
that out. It sounds
octopuses
interesting.
are there?
I'm pretty sure it's called Mountain Under the Sea. I have to look into it though. So, but really, I think the whole thing the author is trying to like discuss throughout the story is like what is intelligence and what is sentience and what is language, and like it's really brilliant the way it's put together. There's like they're saying that they're trying to communicate through like little things, and like it's based on like things we already know about them, but like as if this one particular species is just more intelligent, and that's as far into the book as I am.
Well, octopods.
I can't tell you
octopods,
anything else.
They're very intelligent. There are
Yes.
also 3 plural forms for the word octopus. I think we may have spoke about that once before.
Octopi?
Anybody else creeped out a little bit by my octopus teacher? You watch that at all?
My octopus teacher?
You ever seen My
What?
Octopus Teacher?
Where were you on Pornhub, Ed?
I was
don't know
going to
what-
say, which X-rated
what
website
weird
is this on?
hentai subscription does that have?
That sounds weird.
My-
Where can I
my-
see it?
It's about a documentarian who he goes snorkeling.
Is this real?
Yes.
Okay.
This is real. Some people think that it might have been edited
Okay.
in a way that makes it seem more real than the story actually was.
Okay.
But the way it's portrayed is that there's this one octopus, and they only live for a year or two. And so there's this one octopus that becomes this guy's friend, essentially. And every time he goes swimming, the octopus comes in and meets him. And there's video of, like, the octopus comes up and, like, rests on his chest, and like a cat, and, like, hangs out with him and swims with him, which is, like, stuff that octopi don't do. Mm-hmm. And it all started because he was trying to observe their movement, observe their behavior, and he noticed that the octopus, and there's video of this, the octopus would like invert its arms and collect shells and stuff, and then hide with all the stuff around it. So it just looks like a pile of shit in the water. And he's like, how you know how intelligent a creature has to be in order to figure out? It's like using tools. Like this is it using tools. It's using the environment. Red Solo Cup, are you drinking Bud Light over there?
Yeah, we got the keg of Miller Lite just out of frame.
But yeah, it's
It's not carbonated. I am.
It's cool. It's cool, but it's like this guy gets obsessed and he goes every day and he films this documentary the whole time he's there, you know. And then it's just about it's cool.
And the octopus becomes his waifu.
I was just gonna say,
That's the creepy part about it.
I was
It's
like,
what's really going on
I was
here?
like, this
love
could
my
either. I was like,
octopus.
this could either turn into like cool thing that David Attenborough is gonna like talk about, or it's gonna be something I see on Reddit where he fucks the octopus at the end.
I want to know how David Attenborough is more with it than Joe Biden. That's
Oh
what I
yeah, he
wanna
sure
know.
is. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm David Attenborough, and I've been drinking sherry since 7 o'clock in the morning.
I'm running for president. I would vote for David Attenborough if he was a citizen.
I just love listening to Biden talk like when he was the vice president during Obama's administration, and he's just like, yeah, he's Uncle Joe. It is what it is. And then now it's just
You go back even further, and when he was in Congress,
outwardly
and he
racist.
sounds like a slave owner.
Yeah.
White people are just as smart as poor people. You know? Like,
Dude, no, he's a problem.
It
Like,
goes from like dementia, grandpa, like Jim Crow. It's like,
time.
why are those the three? Why is that you're digivolving from like a racist into like I love ice cream? It's like, yeah, but unless it's chocolate, you don't like.
He said the most racist shit you could possibly say
Oh yeah,
in color
in
television.
Congress, on TV,
like C-SPAN.
in Congress.
Like he was like you have the camera, like the camera's up, and he's just like, yeah, no, actually, anyway. And he's just like,
Yeah.
no, I gotta say it to you, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
If they were
N-word
it's
over and over and over again,
crazy.
too. It's like crazy.
The amount of ammo that Donald Trump left in the ether for people to say that he's racist, like with the Central Park 5 or whatever, and the comment about like south of the border stuff, and now
It's,
like
none of it is still directly racist.
Listen, if that amount of ammo was this much, Joe Biden has this much ammo.
yeah, and it's
So-
just documented from like government television.
Yeah.
and it's like you got all this material for our president to be painted as a racist. You should do that.
But don't worry. Capitalism's the enemy, John.
Yeah,
Capitalism's
oh, God.
the enemy for sure.
Oh man, that conversation's fun.
Yeah.
Well, we really man, we went down a side path here for quite a while.
It's a side quest. I got 10 XP from that.
Today feels like a side quest episode. We get the January stuff out of the way. We tell you how we're doing. We check in. We're gonna be more consistent, and then we just bullshit. And I'm totally I'm totally fucking okay with that.
I'm good with it. This is why we love doing this.
Yeah.
This is why we love doing this. This is literally just a conversation the three of us have all the time.
It's a peek into the window of our friendship, and sometimes it gets a little awkward.
No, not really. I mean, just like, like we have views and we have opinions and we stand behind them. I think that's a good thing.
And we have a great time.
And it's great. Well, because you know what it is too. It's like we're just people who are very introspective and also interested in the world and the way that it works.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we like to consume podcasts and why we like to create them, because we have a voice, we have opinions, we have things to say, and we feel that they're positive and coming from a place of love, and that other people could benefit from it. And there's going to be like-minded people who agree with everything that we say, and there's going to be people that think we're pieces of shit for the things that we say.
People that are wrong.
And
Yeah.
that's a risk that
Yeah.
we're willing to take.
100. No, seriously, 100%.
Yeah.
Think about how many people absolutely hate Joe Rogan that have never listened to one episode of his podcast.
Yeah, no,
You know?
I know
Think
a
about
few.
Think about how many people have no idea who Jocko Willink is.
Yeah.
Have no idea. Or people who think David Goggins is giving people advice like, oh, if you're only 40% done, that means I should put 700 pounds on my back. It's like, no, idiot. It means do 2 more reps and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like,
you know? Like,
the amount of people that think our favorite Canadian, Jordan Peterson, is a
Yeah.
supervillain. Like there was
he's not. He's Kermit the Frog personified.
He's just like trying to help people, and it's like, no, he's a supervillain. Was it that there was one movie where they portrayed him as like
Oh, it was Don't Worry,
Red
Darling.
Skull. No, hang on, it was like
Oh well, that was also
yeah, it's something like they portrayed Red Skull as Jordan Peterson. It's like who what?
Did you speaking
No.
of
not a Nazi.
speaking of
That
speaking
doesn't
of
work.
more Canadian supervillain behavior? Have you seen the video of when
Anything Justin Trudeau has ever done?
in the
The
past
tyrant?
in the past when Justin Trudeau's, I guess one of his brothers died in like a skiing accident or something, and they interview him and he's like yeah, he goes, well, if he just wasn't out that day and he stayed home, he'd still be here. And I'm just like, he just like said that to a reporter, like with like his. I was like,
Not a good guy.
I was like, that is not
There is certainly something afoot in the world, and I won't.
like his dad is Fidel Castro.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big one. Like, yeah, that might be true.
Yeah, that might actually be true.
He
They
might
look
be a
alike.
literal
Just look at him. Look
Yeah.
at both of them.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's a conspiracy theory.
No, I
We
know.
shouldn't
I'm
really
just-
get too
I'm
deep into
just-
that,
It
but like,
is.
but
It
like,
is.
but
I'm
like,
just
at the
poking
same
fun.
time, I know. But like at the same time, like there is certainly something afoot in the world, and through the laughter and through our own personal struggles and everything, I want this show to be something that helps the world turn into the right direction.
Yeah.
Whatever that
Yeah.
may be. And I certainly know that whatever is in the mainstream media and coming out of your tap water is not it.
No,
Is not it.
or coming out of the television, man. Because there's worldwide organizations that are projecting a worldwide famine coming up, but they're also telling farmers to stop farming. So like, look at what's happening in the Netherlands. Like
Right.
that's why are you saying there's a famine?
Stop eating meat, and we're also going to stop farming. And it's
Yeah.
like, what is happening? Like,
Yeah,
what
I
is
don't-
going on?
It seems like you don't really care.
I mean, and it's not our place to spend the next 45 minutes speculating or talking about whatever theories we've seen online, because we have no concrete, finite proof of anything. But what I can say is that through self-discipline, through self-awareness, and through courage, you will not be so easily swayed by the things that you consume on the internet. And there is a lot of doom scrolling, people are calling it now. You know what I mean? Like, that's an old man sentence. People are calling it doom scrolling these
Kids
days.
nowadays with doom
Painting their toenails.
their toenails.
15 dogs.
I live in the Baja.
Baja. That's where they invented the fish taco. In the Baja.
Oh, Jesse Ventura.
He had to make
I
an
was a
appearance.
Navy SEAL.
It's like, okay, dude, you're an insane guy.
in the car.
Yeah, even if he says anything,
Sit down.
he's one of those people, like, even when you agree with him, you're like, can you stop?
It's like, oh, I feel bad, but yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, through this path, I think is why we're on this page together. I think it helps you see the truth of the world. I think it helps you appreciate what happens naturally in the world, and you stop wanting to be one of these people who cuts parts off yourself or adds parts onto yourself or implants and injects and fills up. You know, I mean, like, life is so much more than how you look. And then you see, like the other day, I'm watching, I forget the fuck I was watching, but it turns to the crowd. It's like some stand-up thing. I watch a lot of comedy, and it's this stand-up thing, and it turns to the crowd, and literally it was a sea of women that look exactly the same. Exactly the same. Middle part, dark hair, straightened, filled lips, eyelashes, fake eyelashes, whitened teeth, and probably fake boobs, because they're like, they don't just do this. Tits don't do this, all right?
They don't just erupt.
They move. They're not supposed to just be like, hey, you know, like,
Just taking down the set.
yeah. So it's like,
You look like the legs of someone I just knocked out. Just
yeah, literally. I wish we could show people that video, because when Ryan knocked that guy out, he just went,
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
but
baby arms.
yeah, literally, he walked like an Egyptian all the way to the ground. But you know, like, it's insane. It's insane. Like I used to call it it's like punk kids too. It's the same thing. Whatever direction you're in. Like, I remember I had a friend, we both know him, and he was like big green mohawk and spikes and pins and stud belts and Doc Martens, and it's like, you literally handed me a copy of the Communist Manifesto. You literally are also dressed just like everybody that you know, to the point that you have the same brand shoes as all your friends. So how are you any different? How are you any different? You're wearing the uniform of nonconformity, you know? So whether it's you're doing that and you're just like everybody else because you just, I want to be different, but I also want to be just like all my friends.
I want to be different like you.
Or
okay.
you think, like, there's only one way the world works, and that infrastructure will never fall apart, and there is no natural world, and being in the city and having a diamond and having the watch and having the bag and having the whatever the fuck is all that's important. You're both wrong. You're both wrong. The world is what the world is, and through centering yourself and being able to be introspective and being able to kind of like see things for what they are, and training for war. You're in this martial art because you're training to be a warrior. So you steel yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally, and it helps you kind of fight against the tide. It helps you. I think that's why there's so many people who are like, you know, martial artists who are, you know, not necessarily right-wing, but like centrists. But of course, in this country, the centrists get roped in with the right.
Yeah.
And so I pointed to John for some reason, even though this is my left. It's your right. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not a terrorist.
It's stage right. Or is it left? I don't know what's going on here. But you know what I mean.
Yes,
You know what I mean. Stage right.
Stage right.
But it's
Couch right.
Yeah. Which is actually, if we're talking, that's
No.
stage.
Stage
This
right.
is stage right. This is stage
When
right.
you're facing a stage.
I knew that. I knew that. But if you look at the camera, is that flipped? Is that why? It is.
Yep.
No, it isn't.
Screen is.
No, I'm just
No,
fucking
it's
with you.
not. Yeah.
No, it's not. That's just like causing
I
problems.
just got so confused just for a second there. Guys,
Look
remember,
inward, Ed.
remember everything I say, if you're inspired by it or if it makes you feel a certain type of way, you're just as dumb as I am. So,
And that's pretty
yeah,
fucking
it's
dumb.
pretty fucking dumb.
We'll see you at the mental asylum.
Anyway, I'm Ron Burgundy.
And this is Jackass.
I love like have you seen the videos of like where they I think it was for Anchorman 2 where they're doing all like him and his wife are doing all like the warm-ups, and he's just like he's like Jenna, grab the children, they're coming into the back door, get
I love that's from the outtakes,
yeah,
right?
just screaming.
Just warming up.
Now, Brian, I've heard that they're coming up with new feeling for breast implants. I've heard nickels, taco meat. It's just like Brian. It's just Paul Rudd. Is like cannot like the fact like you watch those outtakes. You're like, how did they even make a movie? You're like, how did they? I've heard they're filling them with taco meat. It's like Jesus fucking Christ.
I love it.
This
It's good to be back in the saddle, boys.
It is.
Yeah.
It's been far too long.
Yeah, this is why I love doing this. This is why I think this is important too, because whether you take something out of what we say, disagree with everything we say completely, or we misspeak and say something that we probably shouldn't have said, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, we're being ourselves, and I think that's what's most important.
Yeah.
And hopefully that gives somebody else the power to be themselves.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that's a good place to wrap it.
Yeah.
I think so, boys and girls.
John?
All right. Well, thank you to all of our listeners, and thank you to all of our patrons, peoples, all the patrons, all the
on
peoples
Patreon
that be listening and watching.
Anybody who's bought a shirt or a hoodie
Yes.
or the slides that I designed.
Slides. I still call them flip flops. I will not call them slides. But anyway, thank you to everyone who's been along this journey with us. Happy New Year to all of you. Happy holidays to whatever you celebrate. And this has been the Martial Mind.
God damn it,
Strong.
Ryan! God damn it!
I put it on airplane mode. I'm sorry. That's an alarm.
All right, this has been the Martial Mind Podcast. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Thank you all.
See you later.
That's hilarious.